Here's the 800-word Part 1 in simple, basic English, with a third-person narrative. The winter wind cut through the narrow streets of Millbrook, where Emily Thompson walked with her worn-out boots and a thin jacket. Her hands were red from the cold, clutching a stack of papers and a lunchbox with yesterday's sandwich. At 28, life had not been kind to her. Every morning began the same way. She would wake up in her small, cold room at 4:30 a.m., make a quick cup of instant coffee, and prepare for her first job at Baker's Corner. The small bakery was her morning world, where she kneaded dough, prepared pastries, and served early morning customers with a tired but warm smile. Her father, Robert, had been sick for months. Medical bills were eating through their modest savings like hungry moths. Emily knew every penny counted. Her evening job at the community center was her second lifeline, cleaning floors, organizing spaces, doing whatever work was available. Mr. Williams, the bakery owner, watched Emily with kind eyes. He saw more than just an employee. He saw a young woman fighting against impossible odds. Some mornings he would secretly slip an extra pastry into her lunchbox, knowing she rarely had a proper meal. "You work too hard," he would say softly. Emily would just smile and continue working, her hands moving quickly and efficiently. Her tiny room told a story of struggle. A single bed with a worn blanket, a small desk with nursing study books, and a wall covered with scholarship application forms. Dreams of becoming a nurse lived in those papers, carefully pinned and organized. The town of Millbrook was not a wealthy place. Most people knew each other, and everyone understood the meaning of hard work. Emily was a familiar face, always working, always moving, always fighting. At the community center, she met Thomas, an elderly volunteer who had once been a nurse. He would watch her clean and sometimes share stories about his medical experiences. Thomas saw something special in Emily, a determination that reminded him of himself when he was young. "You have a healing spirit," Thomas would tell her. Those words meant more to Emily than any paycheck. Her father's illness was a constant worry. Robert had been a factory worker most of his life, and now he was confined to a small bedroom, medical, machines surrounding him. Emily would spend her limited free time caring for him, changing his medicines, checking his temperature. Some nights, after her 2 jobs, she would sit by her father's bed and study. The lamp would be her only companion. Casting a soft light on her nursing textbooks, she would read about medical procedures, human anatomy, and patient care, dreaming of the day she could properly help people like her father. The community seemed to watch over Emily. When her refrigerator broke down, a local electrician fixed it for free. When her boots started falling apart, the shoe repair shop owner mended them without charge. Small acts of kindness kept her going. Her mother had passed away years ago, leaving Emily as the primary caretaker for her father. She never complained, never showed weakness. Every challenge was another opportunity to prove her strength. At the bakery, her hands would move quickly, rolling dough, preparing bread, serving customers. At the community center, she would clean with precision, organize with care. Every job was done with complete dedication. Mr. Williams noticed her potential. He saw how she managed multiple tasks, how she remained calm under pressure. "You could do so much more," he would hint, looking at her with encouraging eyes. Emily's world was small but filled with hope. Her dreams of becoming a nurse were not just personal ambitions, but a promise to herself and her father. She wanted to provide care, to heal, to make a difference. As the winter morning continued, Emily continued her routine. Another day of work, another day of hope, another day of fighting against the odds. Her spirit remained unbroken, her determination unwavering. In Millbrook, Emily Thompson was more than just a worker. She was a symbol of resilience, of hope, of the human spirit's incredible capacity to survive and dream. The end. The community center felt different today. Emily walked through its quiet hallways, her cleaning cart moving silently across the polished floor. She noticed Thomas sitting in the corner, his reading glasses perched on his nose, looking through some old medical journals. Thomas was not just another volunteer. At 72, he carried decades of nursing experience and a compassionate heart. He had watched Emily for months, observing her quiet determination and hard work. "Come sit for a moment," Thomas called softly. Emily hesitated, knowing her work schedule was tight, but something in his voice made her pause. He spread out an old nursing textbook, showing her detailed diagrams of human anatomy. His weathered fingers traced the medical illustrations, sharing stories from his years as a hospital nurse. Emily listened, her eyes wide with interest. "These aren't just pictures," Thomas explained. "Each line represents a life, a story, a human experience." His words resonated deeply with Emily. She understood struggle, she understood survival. That afternoon changed everything. Thomas began helping Emily understand her nursing study materials. He would sit with her during her breaks, explaining complex medical concepts in simple, easy-to-understand language. Her father's medical bills continued to worry her. Robert's health was declining, and each doctor's visit seemed more expensive than the last. Emily would often sit by his bedside, calculating expenses, wondering how she would manage. Mr. Williams from the bakery noticed her growing stress. One morning, he pulled her aside and said, "Emily, your potential is bigger than this bakery. You have a gift for caring." His words were like a gentle push towards her dreams. The community began to notice Emily's journey. Local shop owners would offer small helps, a free meal here, a discount there. In Millbrook, people looked out for each other. They saw Emily's struggle and respected her hard work. Thomas became more than a mentor. He was a bridge between her current life and her future dreams. He helped her research scholarship opportunities, reviewed her application forms, and shared valuable advice about nursing careers. "A good nurse needs more than medical knowledge," Thomas would say. A good nurse needs compassion, patience, and the ability to truly listen to patients. Emily's evenings transformed. Instead of just cleaning the community center, she started attending free workshops. Thomas would introduce her to retired medical professionals who shared their experiences. Each conversation was a lesson, each story a piece of inspiration. Her father, Robert, noticed the change in his daughter. Despite his illness, his eyes would light up when Emily shared her study progress. "My girl is going to be a nurse," he would tell the neighborhood visitors with pride. The scholarship applications became a beacon of hope. Emily worked on them during every spare moment. Thomas would review each draft, offering gentle corrections and encouragement. "You're writing your future," he would remind her. Mr. Williams supported her in unexpected ways. He adjusted her bakery shifts to help her study, understanding her larger goal. "Education is more important than a few extra hours of work," he would say. Winter turned to spring, and Emily's hope grew stronger. The community center became more than a workplace. It became a place of learning, of connection, of possibility. Her relationship with Thomas was unique. He saw in her the passion he once had as a young nurse. They would discuss medical cases, share stories, and dream about healthcare's potential to change lives. Emily's world was expanding. Her tiny room was now filled with medical books, scholarship applications, and notes of encouragement. Each paper represented a step towards her dream of becoming a nurse. The journey was not easy. Medical studies were challenging, expenses were high, and her father's health was unpredictable. But Emily had something powerful. She had hope, she had support, and she had an unbreakable spirit. In Millbrook, Emily was becoming more than just a bakery worker and community center cleaner. She was becoming a symbol of determination, of hope, of the incredible power of human connection. The end, the library became Emily's sanctuary. Between her bakery shifts and community center work, she would spend every spare moment studying. Rows of medical books surrounded her, creating a fortress of knowledge and hope. Margaret, a senior nurse at the local hospital, had been watching Emily's journey. She saw more than just a hard-working woman. She saw potential waiting to be unleashed. One cold Tuesday morning, Margaret approached Emily after her bakery shift. "I have a proposition," she said, her kind eyes meeting Emily's tired but determined gaze. The hospital needed an administrative assistant, and Margaret believed Emily was perfect for the role. The job offer was more than just work. It was a gateway to the medical world Emily had been dreaming about. Part-time hours, flexible schedule, and most importantly, a chance to be closer to her nursing dream. Emily's father, Robert, was thrilled. From his small bedroom, he would listen to her excited stories about the hospital. "My girl is moving forward," he would tell the neighbors with pride. Thomas continued to be her mentor. He helped her prepare for the hospital interview, teaching her how to present herself confidently. "Stand tall," he would say. "Your journey is about more than just a job. It's about your dream." The hospital interview was nerve-wracking. Emily wore her best second-hand blazer, her hands slightly shaking as she entered the office. Margaret sat across from her, a warm smile breaking the tension. "Tell me why you want to work in a hospital," Margaret asked. Emily took a deep breath and shared her story, her father's illness, her nursing ambitions, her journey of hard work and hope. Margaret was impressed, not just by Emily's words, but by her spirit. She saw a young woman who understood the true meaning of healthcare: compassion, dedication, and hope. The job came with challenges: early mornings at the bakery, followed by hospital administrative work, and then cleaning at the community center. Emily's days became a careful dance of time management and determination. Mr. Williams at the bakery continued to support her. He adjusted her morning shifts, understanding her larger goal. "Your future is more important than a few extra bread rolls," he would tell her with a kind smile. At the hospital, Emily learned quickly, filing medical records, scheduling patient appointments, understanding medical terminology. Each task was a step closer to her nursing dream. Margaret would often spend extra time explaining medical processes, recognizing Emily's genuine interest. Thomas continued to be her guide. He would review her hospital notes, share stories from his nursing career, and provide constant encouragement. "Every great journey starts with small steps," he would remind her. Her father's health remained a constant worry. Medical bills continued to challenge their financial stability. But now, Emily had more hope. The hospital job came with small benefits, and her scholarship applications were looking promising. The community of Millbrook watched Emily's transformation. Local shop owners would ask about her progress, offering words of support and occasional help. In this small town, everyone's success was a shared celebration. Emily's tiny room transformed. Medical books replaced cleaning supplies. Scholarship application forms were neatly organized alongside hospital work schedules. Her wall became a testament to her journey, a map of hope and determination. Nights were long. After hospital work, she would study. Thomas would sometimes video call, helping her understand complex medical concepts. Mr. Williams would occasionally bring her a warm pastry, ensuring she didn't forget to eat. Margaret saw something special in Emily. She wasn't just hiring an administrative assistant. She was nurturing a future nurse, someone who understood healthcare was about more than just medical knowledge. As months passed, Emily's confidence grew. Her administrative skills improved. Her understanding of medical processes deepened. Each day brought her closer to her nursing dream. The journey was hard. Balancing multiple jobs, studying, caring for her father, it would have broken many. But not Emily. Her spirit remained unbreakable, her hope constant. In Millbrook, Emily was becoming more than just a worker. She was becoming a symbol of resilience, of hope, of the incredible power of human determination. The end. The phone call came on a rainy Wednesday morning. Emily's hands trembled as she listened to the doctors, words about her father's worsening condition. Robert needed expensive treatment, and their limited savings were nowhere near enough. Her world seemed to crash around her. The nursing scholarship, her hospital job, her dreams, everything felt like it was slipping away. Robert had been her only family, her reason for fighting so hard. Mr. Williams from the bakery was the first to notice her distress. During her morning shift, he saw the tears she tried to hide while kneading bread dough. "What's wrong?" he asked, his voice filled with genuine concern. Emily shared her struggle. Her father needed a critical medical procedure that would cost more than they had ever saved. The treatment was expensive, and insurance would cover only a small portion. News travels fast in Millbrook. Thomas, Margaret, and the local community quickly learned about Emily's challenge. What happened next would change everything. Mr. Williams contacted local business owners. Margaret reached out to hospital administrators. Thomas began organizing a community support network. They were determined to help Emily and her father. The community center became the heart of a remarkable plan. Local shop owners, factory workers, and community members began organizing a fundraiser. They understood Emily's journey, her hard work, her dedication, her dreams. A large banner was hung in the town square. Support Emily and Robert Thompson. Donation boxes appeared in local shops. People who had watched Emily's struggle for years now wanted to help. The bakery became a central meeting point. Mr. Williams donated a percentage of daily sales. Local bakers brought extra pastries to sell. Every penny would go towards Robert's. Medical treatment. Margaret used her hospital connections to negotiate better treatment rates. She spoke with doctors, explained Emily's situation, and found ways to reduce medical expenses. Her professional network became a lifeline. Thomas became the fundraiser's coordinator. He knew everyone in Millbrook and understood how to mobilize community support. His years of experience and respect in the community proved invaluable. Emily was overwhelmed. She had always been the one helping others, never expecting help in return. Tears of gratitude would often fill her eyes as she watched her community come together. The local newspaper ran a story about Emily's journey. Her determination, her multiple jobs, her nursing dream, all became an inspiration for the town. People who didn't know her personally now wanted to support her. Donations started pouring in. $5 here, $10 there. School children brought their pocket money. Retired workers contributed from their limited savings. The community's love knew no boundaries. Robert, weak but hopeful, watched the community's support from his hospital bed. "My daughter is not alone," he would tell nurses, his eyes filled with pride. The fundraiser exceeded expectations. Not only could they now cover Robert's medical procedure, but they also had some money left for future treatments and Emily's nursing education. Margaret offered additional support. She helped Emily navigate medical paperwork, found additional financial assistance programs, and became a personal mentor in her healthcare journey. Mr. Williams continued adjusting her bakery shifts, ensuring she could balance work, hospital, administration, and caring for her father. His support went beyond employment. He became a father figure. Thomas continued guiding her through medical study materials. He would visit the hospital, share stories with Robert, and provide emotional support to the entire family. The turning point was not just about money. It was about community, about human connection, about showing that no one truly fights alone. Emily's dream of becoming a nurse now seemed closer than ever. The community's support had transformed her struggle into a story of hope and collective strength. In Millbrook, Emily was no longer just a baker, a hospital worker, or a daughter caring for her sick father. She had become a symbol of resilience, of hope, of the incredible power of human compassion. Her journey proved that with determination, hard work, and community support, no dream was impossible. The end 5 years had passed since Millbrook rallied around Emily Thompson. The small town watched with pride as she completed her nursing qualification, standing tall in her crisp white uniform. Her father, Robert, sat in the hospital audience during her graduation ceremony. His health had improved dramatically, and his eyes sparkled with tears of joy. The same community that had supported them now celebrated Emily's incredible achievement. Margaret, her mentor from the local hospital, pinned her nursing badge. "You're not just a nurse," she whispered. "You're an inspiration." Emily's journey from a bakery worker to a qualified nurse seemed almost like a miracle. The hospital where she now worked became more than just a workplace. It was a testament to her determination, her resilience, and the power of community support. Emily specialized in patient care, bringing a unique compassion born from her own struggles. Mr. Williams, now retired, would often visit the hospital. The baker who once gave her extra pastries now proudly told everyone about his nurse, the girl who worked in his bakery and never gave up on her dreams. Thomas, now older but still sharp, continued to be her guiding light. He would sit with her during coffee breaks, sharing stories from his nursing days, proud of the professional she had become. Emily remembered every challenge: the cold mornings at the bakery, The late-night study sessions, the moments of doubt. Each struggle had shaped her into the nurse she was today. Her first major project was something special. Inspired by her own journey, Emily started a mentorship program for young workers pursuing education. She understood how hard it was to balance work, dreams, and personal challenges. The program helped young people like her former self, those working multiple jobs, struggling to pursue their education. Emily provided guidance, financial advice, and most importantly, hope. Local businesses in Millbrook supported her initiative. Mr. Williams connected her with small business owners. Margaret helped her develop professional networking opportunities. Thomas provided historical context and wisdom. Emily's program became a beacon of hope. Young workers would come to her, sharing their dreams, their struggles. She would listen, guide, and support, just as Thomas and Margaret had done for her. Her father, now healthier, became her biggest supporter. He would help manage the program's administrative work, proud of the difference his daughter was making in the community. The hospital recognized her unique approach to patient care. Emily wasn't just treating medical conditions, she was treating human beings. Her own experience of struggle made her a compassionate and understanding nurse. Community workshops became a regular feature. Emily would share her story, inspire young workers, show them that dreams were possible with hard work and community support. Mr. Williams would bring pastries to these workshops. Margaret would provide professional insights. Thomas would share historical nursing experiences. The entire community remained involved in Emily's mission. Her tiny room, once filled with scholarship applications and medical books, was now an office for her mentorship program. The walls displayed photographs of young workers she had helped, each picture a story of hope and transformation. Emily never forgot where she came from. Every patient, every mentorship session, every moment was a reminder of her journey. She understood that success was not just about personal achievement, but about lifting others. The local newspaper did a feature on her mentorship program. "From bakery worker to inspiring nurse" was the headline. Emily's story became a symbol of hope for the entire town. Millbrook had changed. What was once a small industrial town was now known for its incredible community spirit, its ability to support and uplift its own people. Emily Thompson was more than a nurse. She was a beacon of hope, a living example that with determination, support, and hard work, any dream was possible. Her journey proved that true success was not just about personal achievement, but about creating opportunities for others, about building a community that supports and believes in its people. As she looked out of the hospital window, Emily smiled. Her dream was not just fulfilled, it was continuously growing, touching lives, creating hope. The end.